Welcome to Monster Men.
Let me get my old-time radio to start the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, urging you to invest in your local blood banks.
From the words of Dracula.
Nice.
Should I take my mask off? Are we socially distanced?
Read my lips.
Is this enough distance, by the way? If you're listening on audio,
My Monster Men one's in the other room. I got a Final Guys mask.
You got the Final Guys. I'm wearing the Monster Men mask.
You can take it off.
Cooler.
I think we're further than 6 feet apart.
Yeah, when we're one state away, we're good. All right.
But I can't help but notice your Monster Men swag you got going there.
Dude, and I got my Monster Man, my black T-shirt, with the green Monster Man logo, and I decided to match it. I'll wear my Reanimator hat, which is green and black too. I'm always about accessorizing and matching.
You look good.
I feel good.
Isn't it cool to have a shirt with the Monster Man on it?
Actually, it is kind of freaking awesome.
So
There'll be more coming.
I got the baseball sleeves going today with the black.
I love that. You were mentioning before how you haven't had a baseball shirt like that,
No, and then I saw it on the T Public menu, and I was like, I kind of like that. Like on everything else, I bought like a long sleeve black. I bought a black hoodie. I'm like, all right, I got to get a little bit of color going. So
yeah, I dig it. So, and you can dig it too. Go to themonstermen.net.
You get a coffee cup while you're at it.
By the way, we were going to. This is is this our 10th Halloween special?
God, I don't know.
9th or 10th. It's up there. But this is our Halloween episode, everybody, and we were going to do this together, but I woke up feeling a little under the weather, and I want to look out for Jack. I mean, he is elderly, and just want to make sure I don't kill you. So
well,
now we're separate.
We'll do another one in person as soon as you're feeling better.
Yes.
We'll do our pumpkin ale.
We have some. Are you drinking a pumpkin ale now?
I am drinking it. It's one of the ones not put aside for. This is the hell is this one? It's the one with the shark.
Oh, Dogfish.
Dogfish, yeah. Dogfish Head, pumpkin ale. I think we've had this one a couple of times.
Simply named pumpkin ale. I am drinking Montauk Brewing out in Montauk, Montana.
Ooh.
They're creatively named pumpkin ale.
When we do our pumpkin ale, I have a whole bunch.
Well, I can't wait. The one thing about this one, the Montauk, it's not too sweet. I'm not crazy about the super sweet, but it's definitely got that spiciness going.
The one thing I wish I had was the brown sugar and cinnamon ring on the top. I love that.
I'd be like, I can't do this. It's too much. By the way, when I was researching the Montauk Monster, I took my kids out to Montauk for the weekend. And they were younger, and I see Montauk Brewing as this little tiny storefront. Maybe not even a storefront, just a place we can go and taste. I said to them, I'm just going to go in there for 5 minutes, taste the beer, and buy a beer. 2 hours later, I come out. Luckily, it was a nice sunny day. There was a field out there. They were just chilling out, but they still remind me about that all the time.
Nice.
Wrong.
All right, so we're going to do a Halloween episode. So you came to the table saying we should do Halloween in quarantine, which is catchy.
I like it rhymes.
You're the writer.
But
I had come to let's do one of our year in review, and why don't we do 1978, because that's the year that Halloween came out.
And like peanut butter and we're going to smush them together, and it's going to taste so good.
A Reese's peanut, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter and my chocolate.
You put your finger in my eye. That's not good.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so what we'll do is, because look, you might be in quarantine right now. You might be in lockdown. You might be in neither, but you're afraid to go out. Who knows? This is the year where we have Halloween's on a Saturday. We have a full moon, and we set the clocks back, and we get an extra hour sleep. And this is the year where the gods have said, screw you. I'm giving you the ultimate. I'm serving it up, and I'm taking it all away from you.
But
So
we're saying to hell with that. We're still going to find a way to have fun.
there are things to do, and we're going to tell you some of the things you can do while we're also talking about the crazy movies that came out in '78, which I'm glad we picked this year.
Oh yeah,
There's
this
fun
is
stuff
great.
in there.
Well, I will say this as far as things to do in quarantine. The simplest one, which my sister's talking about doing,
Hmm.
is she's got one of those big outdoor screens, and she's got a fire pit. And if nothing else, go over there, bundle up, get that fire pit going, and pop on something like Hocus Pocus or Monster Squad or something that, depending on if there's kids there or there's adults there, put in a scary movie, watch it
Right.
outside, and tailgate unless it's raining and miserable outside.
Oh, which I hope. I almost hope it is raining and miserable just to complete what's going on. I thought of doing that too in my yard. Like what I've been doing is I've been bringing my whole TV out into the yard, and we just sit out there and watch TV. But I have like a house behind me with like literally 7 kids, so I got to be careful what I like. I would love to put like Last House on the Left and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but little tiny eyes might watch that. I got to be careful.
Reanimator, the Barbara Crampton with the head.
This is what sex is really like, kids. This is how it happens. The man attacks his head and does stuff to you. So I think that's a great idea, though.
You just never know, because remember a few years ago we were coming back from Chiller Theater at October like 27th, and it snowed.
Oh, it took me hours to get home. The snow was terrible.
I'll never forget that because there was a Ruth Chris Steakhouse in the hotel, and you and I were both just like, I haven't had a good steak in a long time. Want to stay a little bit long? Go get drop an extra couple of bucks and really live it up. And we're like, yeah, we're both on the same page. And then we, just as we were walking to the restaurant, you could see the glass doors to the parking lot, and we both were like, "Oh my god, it's a blizzard!"
Yeah, and if we didn't leave when we left, we'd be screwed.
I'll never forget that because I was heading for the Tappan Zee Bridge. I had 4-wheel drive, and I'm driving really slow. I'm maybe 10 minutes from the bridge, and my mother calls me up. Had no idea.
Right.
She's like, "Ah, I hope you're just home, hunkered down, and bundled up, whatever." I go, "Actually, I'm about 10 minutes from the Tappan Zee Bridge." "What are you doing out?" Whatever.
I was out buying things I don't need.
Yeah.
Don't you understand, Mom?
I felt
Yeah,
like
something.
Scatman Crothers heading for the Overlook Hotel.
I'm going to get you, Danny. Keep shining. The best part was when Halloween came, we still had snow. So what we did was we gathered the snow into this big, like, termite hill, and we just put all our beers in the snow outside.
Oh,
So
see,
we made use of what the Lord gave us.
you're like the Revenant living out there in the land.
Well, something you can do, and this is for the adults. So, you know, maybe you don't have kids, but if you have kids, put them to bed at one point. Pick your favorite horror movie sex scene and recreate it in the bedroom.
Ooh.
How about American Werewolf in London? Jump in the shower. Start there. Jennifer's Body.
Oh.
They had a great sex scene. The Hunger. If you like lesbian stuff, like The Hunger and Jennifer's Body, those are pretty good sex scenes you could do. The
Could you
Hunger.
do the Michael Myers walking in with the sheet over with the glasses?
Totally. Like, I'm telling you, what you should do is you should do the sister and her boyfriend. By the way, they have the quickest sex ever in Halloween. Is it 10 seconds long before he's done? I mean, and going home, unlike, a regular 18-year-old is like, I'm ready to go and like, give me 30 seconds. But yeah, you could do that. You should have the sex and then leave when you're done and come back out with the mask on and pretend to stab your wife.
Could you have
Get a
the
little
like
thrill.
the joyless sex from Dawn of the Dead, 1978?
Yes, by all means, you can have that one too. But I say, yeah, you pick your favorite sex scene in a horror movie, watch it first, then recreate it. Have some fun with it.
Or you Netflix and chill, and that scene comes on, and then that's when you just stop watching the movie and
Pause.
roll with it, baby.
Pause. So yeah, that's one thing I thought of to do for the adults. You're trapped home.
Yeah.
You might as well have a whole lot of fun with it. And do it early before all the booze kicks in. Then you're worthless.
That's a treat, not a trick.
Well, it depends what scene you think. Could be tricky.
All right, so 1978, the year Halloween came out. Did you see Halloween in the theater the first time you saw it, or was I didn't? I saw it on like HBO or on videotape.
I was 10 when it came out, so I'm pretty sure I saw it, but I don't remember. So
I didn't see it in the theater till like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was playing at the Kent Theater by me, and I'm sure I saw it. But it's funny, it didn't make a big impression on me like Dawn of the Dead did, or The Exorcist.
No, I liked it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Like I was way more into Friday the 13th and other stuff because they were faster paced.
Right.
But then when I got older, I was like, oh, this movie's like a masterpiece.
Yeah, this movie's way better than the stuff I thought was good. Well, that's with anything when you're a kid. What do you know when you're young? But 78 was actually a prime year for some pretty good, groundbreaking horror, cool monster stuff, and some weird stuff. So you want to hear what else came out in 78?
Give me a couple.
How about the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Oh, yeah.
Donald Sutherland.
Leonard Nimoy.
To me, is the best version of Invasion. There's 4 of them now, I think.
There's like 4 of them.
Yeah, this is by far the best one, directed by Philip Kaufman. This movie's creepy as hell.
Oh, absolutely.
Ruined bagpipes.
The paranoia.
The paranoia. Again, it's the 70s. There's a grit and grime and realism to even the most surreal things in the 70s that decade pumped out some of the best stuff.
Yeah, because there's scenes where like they're filming the street from inside a store, so you really get a sense that this was not filmed on a set somewhere. This was filmed in real places.
Exactly.
And
Donald Sutherland as the rat turd sniffing food inspector.
And then a young Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. But this was the first movie when Netflix first came out. We signed up for it, and I signed up for Netflix so I could watch this movie.
Oh wow!
Because the video store by me didn't have it. But I haven't seen this forever. I'm going to watch this. I'll get this Netflix thing and see how this goes. I'll probably cancel it next month.
I have not seen the new version with I think Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman are in it.
Yeah, no, I did not.
I saw the one from the 80s with she was in Burn Notice. She was really good looking.
Oh, damn it! I know who you're talking about.
I had such a crush on her.
One. Isn't it just called Body Snatchers?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll find out for you. But yeah, that's actually, it's good.
I want to revisit that one, and then the original one I've seen a few times.
Directed by Abel Ferrara and starring Gabrielle Anwar. And Meg Tilly.
Oh yeah.
Arlie Ermy and Forrest Whitaker. Come on. What a cast, man.
We should watch that sometime.
Maybe one day we should sit down and watch all 4 Body Snatchers movies.
The new one is like over 2 hours long, I think.
That's too long.
And that's why I've never watched it. I was like, eh.
The pod things are really gross in the one from the 70s, too.
And the one from the 70s has the most iconic moment at the end of the movie. That's one of the great moments in horror.
Yeah, the sound of whatever that sound is. I can't even recreate it. So, you got Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You ready for a...
That was right around the time when Animal House must have come out right around that time, too. So Donald Sutherland was the college professor in Animal House.
Big slinging dick. I have a Nature Gone Wild Piranha.
Oh, man, that was 78.
That was 78. Directed by Joe Dante. And I think, didn't John Sayles write the screenplay to that, I think?
Yes.
I love that answer.
First of all, you're always way better at names than I am. I'm always like, hey, you know that guy with the thing and the head?
Yeah. But speaking of this, in Piranha, Kevin McCarthy is in Piranha, who was in the original Invasion of
Oh
the Body
yeah,
Snatchers.
is he? God, I haven't seen frickin' Piranha in years. I haven't seen Piranha since I was a kid.
It's been a while. Barbara Steele is in it too,
Ooh.
and Bradford Dillman, who was, so sexy way back
And
in
then
the
what?
day.
James Cameron did Piranha too, right?
Uh, did he do two? Well, now I gotta find out. Electric Boogaloo. I just typed in two. Piranha. No,
So what
God,
was
I can't
Jaws?
spell it.
Jaws was 75. So Piranha was 78.
Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Spawning.
Oh boy. 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oof.
Directed by James Cameron. Based on characters by John Sayles.
Based on a true
Screenplay
story.
by James Cameron. There we go.
I
Hey,
wish
you got to start somewhere.
I wish he would do 4 sequels to that movie instead of Avatar.
Who wants to see Avatar? Who's clamoring for more Avatar?
Nobody.
All right. You mentioned Jaws. Jaws 2 came out in 1978.
Ooh, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
I did not like this movie.
Yeah.
I bet you.
Nah, I wasn't that crazy about this movie. It was
Really?
now it's one of the better sequels because so many of the sequels suck. But I actually think Jaws 3D is more fun.
Well, because that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's so ridiculous. Jaws 2 just is. They spend too much time with the kids in the boats.
Yeah, there was a lot of time with the kids on the boats.
So there's a couple of good moments, like the girl in the sailboat and the frickin' helicopter.
Helicopter.
But just without Jaws is more about the relationships and the dynamics and like all this stuff. Like when I watch Jaws, like the shark parts I love, but I love the character moments more. And then in this, you were just sitting there waiting for the shark parts because it was like Brody and everybody else. Like no Hooper, Quint was dead.
The writing and directing maybe not as deft and skillful.
Yeah,
Maybe.
there was no Quint's monologue about the Indianapolis. There was no.
Yeah, not good. Very forgettable. Amazing though that it spawned many more movies.
Yeah, and this is like one of those movies that now every movie has to end with the monster getting blown up. So Jaws did it, and then Jaws 2 were like, well, what's the big ending? Let's electrocute the shark.
I didn't even remember how that movie ended.
I did the Jaws ride in California where they have the shark come along the boat, and then the one in Florida, they did the Jaws 2 where it comes up and it bites the electrical wire. So I have a refrigerator magnet of the shark biting this.
You Jaws completist.
Oh, I love it.
Now, I have another movie. This is a good family movie. I think if you're going to sit down as a group, young and old, I think you should watch the original I Spit on Your Grave together.
I knew that was coming.
I was like going, I can't believe he's taking a drink at this moment.
I was saying to myself, I thought it was going to be Last House on the Left.
That was close. By the way, the movie cover, the movie poster for I Spit on Your Grave, one of my favorites.
That was based on Demi Moore's butt, right?
Yes. And it's a pretty damn good butt. And that butt
Pretty,
doesn't look much different
pretty
now.
good. How old was Demi Moore when that was painted?
Oh my God, this might be like, somebody needs to be arrested. Is there a statute of limitations on this?
Right? The thing
So
is,
that's 78.
we watched, I don't know if I watched this with you or we watched it at the same time a few years ago.
We watched it together.
Yeah. And I just the movie's longer than I remember it being.
Well, there's a lot of nothing going on at times.
Yeah. And the couple of things I remember about watching it with you was we were female grooming has come a long way.
Very true.
And the bathtub scene never gets old.
Never. By the way, Demi Moore was 16 at the time.
Oof.
So maybe they want to change the legend in that.
Tone that down a little bit.
I still love the
Like, what the hell would she have been in for them to even know who she is?
That's a very good question. Was she just somebody like knocking around Hollywood, like that these creeps had their eye
And
on?
how hard is it to paint a butt that you need like a model?
Well, you need buttspiration. I mean, come
Imagine
on.
if Bob Ross did it. It was a happy little ass right here.
Put a happy tree up her ass. And she was her first movie wasn't until 1981. So I don't know. I think that maybe that might be a tall tale
Maybe it's an urban
in
legend.
Hollywood. I hope so because now that I know the age,
But
I'd be
that's
so
always
proud.
been the story about that.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe on Monster we just dispelled the myth.
Now, what do you prefer, the original or the remake?
I prefer the original only because of the just the ick factor of it. The remake is slicker. Look, there's three remakes, like not remakes, but there's a remake and then two others that are really much better than you think they even should be.
Yes, that surprised me.
But
I'm not a big fan of going back to these movies a whole lot anyway.
right,
But I Spit in Your Grave was that magic time for renting movies. Like I always talk about Maniac, but there was a handful of those prize movies that you're like, if I have seen I Spit on Your Grave, I'm a like PhD level horror fan compared to everybody else in my high school.
that I remember. The Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left. There were like certain kind of like taboo movies, which were also hard to find when we were young.
Yeah, like so that's what I meant. Like Maniac was rated X,
Yeah, that's right.
and then you like Basket Case was one of those ones that like if you knew about Basket Case, you're like oh
You still
okay,
might be ahead of the class if you know about Basket Case.
right.
I don't feel like the Basket Case gets the love it should get. All right, you ready for another one?
Hit me. Then we'll talk a little bit more quarantine.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me find one. Oh, now this is on the. It's not really horror, but kind of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
If you've never seen this movie, folks,
This is the original So Bad It's Good movie.
yeah,
I mean,
full show.
it was like legendary. And I remember we rented it once with a group of friends, like guys and girls, and like it was like the second movie. Like we'd watch something mainstream, and it was like, okay, now whoever wants to stay late, we're gonna watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And I mean, I don't remember a whole lot about it except it just being ridiculous.
By the way, if you're thinking tomatoes means something else, no, it's Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah,
So I
tomato.
remember the song that would drive the tomatoes away, Puberty Love.
No,
There was a song that would repel the tomatoes, and it was Puberty Love.
I just remember like saying, the panic has gotten so bad that even the mere mention of the word tomato causes fear. And I was like, tomato. Ah.
What's his face? Gomez Adams is in this.
Is George Clooney in this movie?
Oh, that's a good question. George Clooney. I don't. If it is, he might be uncredited.
I I don't know where I'm getting that from, but I feel like he might have been in this movie.
He might have been too young though.
True.
Like he was young when he was in Roseanne in the '90s. So
I could have dreamt that. He might have been in some other low budget horror movie.
yeah, I don't know. And why do I think that Gomez Adams is in this? And maybe he's
Are you
not.
talking about
As
John
I'm,
Aston?
yeah, I don't know why
I
I
don't
think he was.
remember him being in that.
It has been so long. I built it up in my head that he's in it, and he's not. So see, don't listen to us. Because what the hell do we know?
Was George Clooney in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
He's checking. No.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes features David Miller, George Wilson, Sharon Taylor, and others.
This thing never does like on the TV commercial where it actually gives you the answer.
By the way, just rattle off all these household names.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
So if you're going for a young hunk, you're not going to get it, but you will get some really funny stuff.
That's I didn't realize that was 78.
Yep, there is an earnestness to that movie that is hard to duplicate.
All right, so let me tell you what one of my friends is doing for Halloween. They've
Do
got
that, I'm gonna let
they've
you
got
start.
kids, and their friends live. Their backyards are up against each other, and they've got like a fence with like a space so they can go back and forth. So they're creating. I don't know if it's in both yards or just one of the yards, but they're creating a like haunted maze kind of thing.
Just for their kids?
Well, there's going to be other kids there,
Right.
but they're going to have it spaced out, and they're taking all kinds of precautions. But it's going to be outside. There's going to be hand sanitizer, and there's going to be like fire pits and all that other kind of stuff. But this might actually be what I go to this year. Is
Right.
this haunted thing? Although I kept saying like she was talking about doing the thing where you put your hand in, you feel the grapes and stuff, and I'm like, I don't think that's what you want to be doing this year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
With all the new regulations.
but they're thinking it out, and they're like, okay, it's outside. We can keep, you can space out how often, the frequency of people going through and stuff like that. So they're going to do
Right.
something like that. And then I said, and you should throw up the screen at the end and pop on something harmless like a Hocus Pocus or something that,
Or I was going to say Trick or Treat, but
or
that's
maybe
not
like
quite
Paranorman or something that's just animated to.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Do you like that movie?
No,
Neither do I.
it might be blasphemous, but
I know
do
we're gonna
not
get hate
like that
mail.
movie. If you're going to watch something like that that's creepier, I like Coraline. I'll take that. every
Coraline's
single
screwed up, man.
time. Yeah.
I saw that in the theater.
But yeah, even my daughter like. Look,
You know what
Jack Skellington as an icon is cooler than the movie.
We have a joke in my family because we went and saw Corpse Bride in the theater, and we all hated that too.
Oh yeah, wasn't too thrilled with that one.
Again, no hate mail. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
But I like the idea of like a little kind of like scare park inside your yards.
Or you put on that black and white. What the heck's that witchcraft movie? Haxan.
Oh, Haxon, there we go.
Put that
that's
on just
for
in the
kids.
background. Scare the hell out of them.
They have Shudder has what's that thing? The
the
pumpkin thing that's
Yule
like
pumpkin
the
or
ghoul,
something.
the ghoul
Ghoul
log. I
log.
think. So just to have in the background, if you have Shudder, you can put that on, and it's a pumpkin, it's a jack o' lantern, and there's creepy music and sounds and wind blowing and leaves skittering around. So that's a good background thing to have on.
So with the concern about people touching stuff and all that, would you hand out candy, leave a bowl, and count on the honor system, or have like a funnel that you drop, like a chute?
Anyone who does the funnel thing should have it shoved squarely up their rectum. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Because guess what you're doing? You're still touching the stuff to
Right.
put it in the funnel,
Well, you could have a UV light that it goes.
like flashing in between, like in the funnel. We've had this discussion here at the house, so we know we're not going to. It's not going to be regular Halloween, right? We're not even going to get the kids that you normally get. You probably get an eighth of what you normally got. They're telling us here, wrap it all up in a bag, and then put the bags on a table for kids to pick. I'm like, I don't care how you could put it on the state of Delaware. The kids are going to touch everything.
Right.
So I am going to hand candy out. Too bad. We'll have bags or whatever, and I will wear a glove. Some glove I've been wearing for the last 3 weeks.
Right. Well, the other thing is
And I'm going to hand the candy.
the parents can, at the end of the night, take the bag out, pour out the bag, get some Lysol, spray it, mix it up again,
Enjoy that
spray it
candy.
again. Well, it's in wrappers.
You could leave it out in the sun.
Leave it out in the sun.
Disinfect.
Uh,
But yeah, we're going to probably not do candy, but do like little toys and stuff. Like you go to Oriental Trading. So I think that's what we're going to do. But I'm handing stuff out. We're outside. I'm going to have a mask on. They have a mask on. I have
you get stuff from the supermarket, so
Yeah, but the funnel thing. Whenever people tell me about the funnel, I get angry. Like if I see a funnel, there's gonna be a murder. Better not see a funnel on my street.
I don't know how anybody would actually do that.
Guarantee you, there's a lot of dopes who are gonna do it. That's this. I guess it's for the social distancing, but oh, come on, you're outside. Whatever.
Whatevs.
By the way, if we were talking about movies, like you do a movie in the yard, why don't you check out a drive-in? Drive-ins have been the saving grace of
Oh yeah.
this pandemic, and there are so many drive-ins that are showing Halloween movies. on Halloween.
That's actually a great idea if they're still open.
Most of them are because they're taking advantage of the situation, which by all means they should. Like we're going to the Mahoning Drive-In the week before to see Fire in the Sky,
Oh, nice.
but Halloween night, that whole weekend, they're having movies. They're going well into November. So, and I think a lot of other theaters are. There might be pop-up ones around you.
Just be smart and bring a lot of extra clothes and blankets and stuff like that, because always expect it to be colder than you think it's going to be.
Yeah, something about drive-ins, no matter where they are, they get really cold at night.
Right. And people just like, oh, I just brought like a little fleece. And you're like, no. Wear long johns. It's like, I remember going to like a Red Sox playoff game at the end of October, and I had just grabbed a jacket, and on a whim, I had an extra hoodie, and I was like,
Right.
let me just grab it. Oh my God, if I hadn't took that, I would have froze to death that night. Like,
That happened to me once in Maine where it was summertime, but it was August. So we swam all day. It was like 82 degrees. We went to the drive-in. First movie, I'm like, oh, it's a little chilly. I'm wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt and flip-flops and nothing else. By the second movie, it's 48 degrees.
oh,
And it's one of those where my wife is like going, are you coming? Because I'm sitting in the folding chair outside. And she's like, you coming in the car yet? And it's like, I don't want to give in. I don't want to give in to her, to God, to whoever's making this night. And I'm like sitting out there freezing to death. And I think we were watching a Minions movie.
oh my God.
Yeah, it was a cold night at the drive-in.
Ugh.
But I guarantee you, wherever you are, there either is an established drive-in or there's a pop-up drive-in somewhere. So Google it and get your butt there. Maybe even if you have to drive an hour, so what? It's worth it.
Oh my God, I think driving's a brilliant idea. God, I really hope it doesn't rain, because that would just be so much fun. Like I said, you just gotta bundle the hell up.
Yeah, and just buy tickets early. Like a lot of these drive-ins now, you can't just drive up. You have
Right.
to
Oh yeah.
buy
No, the
tickets.
one here in Connecticut, you got to.
Yeah, they're spacing it.
And
All right,
we
ready
go
for
in my
the-
friend's pickup truck, and she parks backwards, and you sit in the bed, or you can sit out around it.
That's the way to do it. You ready for the 78?
Hit me.
Did you know John Carpenter had 2 movies that came out that year?
What the hell else came out? Starman.
Can you name the other one, which is more a thriller than a horror movie?
Let's see. Season of the Witch had to be before this. That was John Carpenter, wasn't it? Or was that George Romero?
That was George Romero. That's the witchcraft.
You're right. Damn it.
I'll guarantee you he thought this would be his breakout movie, as opposed to Halloween. It stars Lauren Hutton.
Once Bitten.
It's Someone's Watching Me.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
It's a made-for-television movie, which I didn't realize. I've seen it a couple of times. I didn't realize it was made for television, but it has, written and directed by John Carpenter, starring Lauren Hutton and David Burney. Meredith Baxter Burney's.
Oh, that guy, yeah. Well, remember when Lauren Hutton was all that in a bag of potato chips?
Yeah. This movie was aired on NBC on November 29th, 1978.
I actually remember the advertisements for that movie.
I mean, it's a stalking movie.
I totally forgot that was a John Carpenter.
And here's how you know it's a John Carpenter movie. Adrian Barbeau is in it.
Yeah.
So's Charles Cyphers, who's in everything.
Who's he?
Do you remember the weather guy in The Fog?
Oh.
We talked around the phone. He is in almost every John Carpenter movie.
What year is The Fog?
The Fog, I'll bet, is 81.
That's a good guess.
I'm gonna check it out here. Let's see. Let's see.
So, Halloween in The Fog. That's a good double feature for Halloween.
Oh God, yes. 1980. So
I saw that in the
start of
theater.
the golden decade. We just watched that this past week.
Oh, that's a great movie.
The beginning of that with John Houseman on the beach is my probably top 5 beginnings of any movie. I don't horror or anything.
Oh, it's great.
That's back in the day when it was okay as an adult to try to scare the living crap out of children.
What commercials he used to do with Smith Bonnie,
Didn't he also used to do
E.F. Hutton?
E.F. Hutton? That was it.
When E.F.
He,
Hutton talks, people listen or something.
I used to love him as the professor on the Paper Chase.
Oh God, the Paper Chase. I never watched that show.
Oh, we watched it all the time here. All right, let me pick another one out here. Oh, this is right in the 70s, are right with a lot of these nature movies. The Swarm.
I watched that a couple of months ago. Who's in it? Is that Eddie Albert in that?
Irwin Allen produced it, which
This is
I
another
mean,
one of the. Oh God, that movie's hilarious. Oh, who's the main guy in that? It's a Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Yeah, by the way, I love the writer. The screenplay is by Sterling Silliphant.
Oh,
That's a great name. But this is one of those, we're in the 70s with all these disaster movies, and this is right there with it. It's got Michael Caine, Catherine Ross,
Fred McMurray.
Richard Widmark, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, Ben
Yes.
Johnson, Lee Grant, Jose Ferrer, Patty Duke, Slim Pickens,
Slim Pickens.
Bradford Dillman again, Fred McMurray, and Henry Fonda.
Yes.
I mean, holy cow.
That Irwin Allen
Nobody-
always all his movies were like all-star. That's why when I saw Independence Day, I was like, well, this is kind of like an Irwin Allen movie.
I always used to wonder, like, how much money do they all owe him? Like, how did he get them all?
And they're all like Fred McMurray's only in it for like a couple of scenes. He dies,
That's
I
all
think, in
right.
the train crash. That's
that's
another
all you
one
need.
that can thank Jaws. They're like, okay, how do we conquer the bees? You know, and they like get him out onto the ocean and then fire a missile and blow it up.
Yeah, that's a long movie, too.
It is a long
It's
movie.
like over 2 hours
And it's
long.
one of
I
the
remember that.
lesser, like the Rotten Tomato score in that movie is not very good.
Well, because it's
There-
one of those types of movies.
There was another Killer Bee movie around that time. I don't know if it was called The Killer Bees or The Deadly Bees.
Oh, I have it. I got it from Severin, I think, put it out. That's funny.
Is it The Deadly
Like,
Bees?
I think it might be the Deadly Bees. It's sitting downstairs. We watched it once, and I laughed for about an hour and a half.
Did you ever see Invasion of the Bee Girls?
Yes. I feel like my life is Invasion of the Bee Girls.
I saw that in college. We had a bunch of girls over, and we were like, let's watch a horror movie. Well, I came home with that. They're like, what the hell is this?
What's the matter with this guy? Don't invite him over here. All right, I'm going to shoot another one at you. Now, it's funny because a lot of people say this is a horror movie, and I didn't think it was. Coma.
Coma. That's Michael Douglas, right?
Yes.
So, God, I don't remember anything about that movie except comas. Yeah, that's more like a thriller, isn't it?
It's kind of like a thriller, but the bodies suspended from the wires was always creepy to me. It was playing at the theater down by me, and I remember it was here for a couple, 2-3 weeks, and the weather was really bad, and we would go in the theater and just sit there all day watching Coma over and over and over again.
The advertising for that was non-stop.
Yeah, well, it's a Michael Crichton. He directed it. So,
Do you remember what
big
the
time.
concept of that movie was? What was it like the...
Yeah, there was a doctor, and I think like in the hospital she's working in, like people going to comas for like the stupidest things, and she's like, why is everyone falling into a
What's
coma?
the deal with these comas?
Yeah, and then she uncovers it's just something, they're doing stuff with the bodies.
So, here's a story that'll make me seem like more of an idiot than I already come off as. My first job out of college, I worked at an HMO,
Hmm.
and I was writing down notes from a conversation for the somebody, and I handed it off to one of the nurses that we worked with, and she comes back laughing, and she goes, "Jack, it's comatose, not comatose."
Comatose.
And I was like, I learned that from the Mad Magazine parody of Coma.
Oh
And
my
they called
God.
it comatose. And I just thought, like, well, that's where the term "he's toast" came from.
Hey kids, would you like some comatose? Please go back to bed.
Which one of my favorite lines in American Wolf in London. Can I have some toast?
So, aside from Michael Douglas, Genevieve Bujold is the doctor, the fetching doctor.
Fetching.
Rip Torn is in this movie.
Rip Torn.
And so is Tom Selleck, which I don't recall. Must be a minor role.
I have in my queue, I don't know if it's called Daughters of Satan or something like that, but it's a 70s satanic movie that's like young Tom Selleck that's on my to-do list.
Really?
Yeah, sometime soon.
I didn't know he did a horror movie. I guess everyone does, right? Is that a rite of passage? Even Tom Hanks has done one.
Tom Selleck was like considered for Indiana Jones, and I was like, was Tom Selleck even a thing back then? Like, I thought Magnum PI didn't happen till way after.
Yeah, but look at the look of him.
Yeah,
like, he could be a rugged archaeologist instead of a curmudgeonly police commissioner or whatever he is on Blue Bloods.
and selling insurance on infomercials to seniors.
Not good. Not good. All right, do you want to hit us up with something for Halloween? Like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to spend your day?
Well, I might... Oh, well, yeah, that's right. It's the whole day.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely, like, got to get up and watch a horror movie.
Right.
You know, like, roll out of bed, pop
like
on...
Wake and Bake.
Right, and probably, like, an old favorite. Something like Fright Night or something like that.
Which I just watched recently.
Then, oh, you're right. You got to make a whole day out of it. I feel like we should meet for lunch or something.
I think that's a fine idea.
Just like go to
Because
Colony.
I took the day off. I always work on Saturdays, and I took a vacation day, so
We should have like a spooky luncheon.
I like the idea, my friend.
Boom.
The drinking will start at lunch and will carry through for the rest of the night.
We could do like a little live Facebook Live thing or something.
You know, talk about that. There's another way. Like, I always tell people, like, Halloween's the time when pick well. Choose your movies well. I don't want to do something. I don't want to take a chance on something. So I'm going to pick something that is tried and true. If you want, have a viewing party. Get on Zoom. Share your screen and audio, and you guys can watch the movie together.
I was thinking that too, especially with us two. Like, if the weather sucks, we should do that. We should get some folks, pick something fun, pop it on, and then have like designated breaks where you could stop and then chit chat for a little while.
Right.
And then go back.
We do that on my Patreon account where we'll get together and watch movies and just crap all over them. Like I pick movies that you can talk over them, like Squirm. We did Squirm. Who cares if you talk to Squirm?
Right.
So that's something you can do. I mean, I know I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna wake up in the morning before I pee. I'll turn on a movie. But I'm gonna do like some old movie, probably some Universal movie. Then I will read, because I'm reading right now The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones.
Oh, I've heard good things.
But by the time I get to Halloween, I think I'll be on to Armand Rosamelia's Bigfoot book.
Ooh.
It's going to be a fun way to end it. You could, like, take some time. Check this out. Scary Monsters just did their Halloween special.
Oh, that's a cool cover.
And the magazine has a texture to it. It's really cool. Or you could do like Rue Morgue is my favorite, so I just found their Halloween special. Read some magazines.
I'm reading Clown in a Cornfield right now.
I finished Clown in a Cornfield. I think I'm talking about it next Final Guys episode.
I'm about a third way through it right now. It's just starting to cook.
By the way, this is the first time I think in Final Guys, like all four of us bought the physical copy of a book. I don't think we ever do that, ever.
Well, you know me. Come on my show. Give me your book, goddammit.
You owe us money, Adam. We want those royalties back.
Well, I read Laurel Hightower's Whispers in the Dark on a Kindle, and it took me forever. So I just wrote to her and was like, let me get a copy of Crossroads, but I don't want to buy it off Amazon. I'll buy one right off you so you can sign it.
Right.
And then I know we're having Adam on sometime soon, so I was like, let me read Clown in the Cornfield. I went to Target, and I could, because I know that some Targets have it. I didn't see it, so I just got it on Amazon. I'm reading it so much faster because a Kindle You can't just pick it up. Oh, this chapter is 20 pages. I'm gonna wait till later. Oh, this one's
Right.
10. I can get through this. Or it's 10, but I can get 5 pages in. Stick the bookmark in it.
You're right.
Like,
You can't see ahead on a Kindle. Takes me longer to read Kindle books too.
and then it's more spur of the moment to just grab it.
Yeah.
And then I always end up reading longer than I think I'm gonna. I'll be like, oh, I don't have 15 pages in me before I go to bed. Oh, yes, I do. I've got 25 pages in me.
I remember Clown in a Cornfield. I had like 125 pages left, and I was like, all right, I'm going to read a little bit, then I got stuff to do. I didn't move till I was done. I was like, I got to finish this. It was a page turner. We're so proud of you, Adam.
I just got to where he turns up kicks it up
Ooh.
a notch. So
Can't wait to tell you
like
everything. Yeah, I mean, like my whole day is going to be movies and beer and hopefully giving some stuff to little trick or
I
treaters.
didn't even think about the fact that it's a whole day.
Yeah.
It's like we should almost go up to do the melon heads that day.
We should kill a melon head. Let's kill and capture a melon head. All right, let's get into another movie here.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you with It Lives Again.
I was like, I remember that one.
Do you remember it? It's the sequel to It's Alive.
Oh, it's Alive or It Lives?
It Lives Again. It's the sequel to It's Alive.
So it's not It's Alive 2 isn't the name of that movie?
Technically it's It Lives Again, but some places call it It's Alive 2. Which I will tell you because I watched the trilogy.
Yeah.
And this movie is bonkers and awesome.
So what year was It's Alive?
It's Alive was probably 74.
Wow.
Yeah. Larry Cohen. They don't call him King Cohen for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
These movies are great. If you want to sit down to a trilogy that is awesome from start to finish, you watch these three because It's Alive 2 is like directly after It's Alive, and it also stars John Ryan, who's the father. The third one has Michael Moriarty, who was completely off his nut. And the babies have been left on an island to procreate, and they're ginormous. They're like big slee stacks running around. It's crazy.
Is Martin 1978?
Martin is not 1978, but Patrick is. Now, do you remember Patrick?
No. What year is Martin? I could have sworn that was 78.
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
You look it up. Patrick, let's see. It's just like there's a theme. It's about a comatose patient. So there's a theme in 78. Everyone's big into comas. A comatose hospital patient harasses and kills through his powers of telekinesis to claim his private nurse as his own.
Ooh. Martin on IMDb is 77, but the Wikipedia says 78. But well, in Rotten Tomatoes 77, so I was close.
You were. We'll give you credit for that.
What did you just say? I don't remember that one.
Yeah, this guy in a coma who's using his telekinetic powers to screw things up.
I've seen that kind of plot before. There's a Night Stalker with that plot.
Look, this was like waning days of drive-ins B movie.
You know, that might be what I do on Halloween. I might pull out the Night Stalker series and watch a few episodes of that. I'd watch like the female vampire, maybe the one in the Jewish neighborhood.
That's a good one.
That's a great. Maybe the zombie.
The zombie
or the witch one.
That's creepy. The zombie one.
The witch one. The Trevi collection.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so good. Let's watch those together.
I
only have the Night Stalker movie. It's the only one that I own.
So I have a 2-disc set of the Night Stalker, Night Strangler on DVD. I just got the Night Stalker 4K version, and then I have the series on DVD.
You got it all, my friend. And you have signed books of Night Stalker books. Right
Jamie
there.
Evans.
Thank you, Jamie. All right. I don't know if you saw this movie. Now, I saw this movie. This is the weirdest movie I might have ever seen outside of Liquid Sky. The Manitou.
Oh, you told me about this. I haven't seen it.
Because we were just on Coffee, Crips, and Cryptids.
Yeah.
And Lucifer was talking about, wasn't he talking about a book by Graham Masterson?
Yes,
The
because
one
I
who
said
was pulled
Grandmaster
inside out?
Flash.
That's so this is based on a Graham Masterson book, and it's got Tony Curtis. He's the star of it.
Stony Curtis.
Spartacus. Spartacus.
I'm the
Tony
Boston
Curtis,
Strangler. I'm the Boston Strangler.
Michael Ansara and Susan Strasberg. It's about the American Indian Manitou spirit. It's absolutely crazy. You have to watch this. It's
Yeah,
on Prime.
you watched this like a few months ago.
Yeah, and I just, my mouth was hanging open the whole. I'm like, what the hell am I watching here?
It's in my queue.
It's
Like-
absolutely worth it.
Those are the kinds of movie I pick off. Like yesterday morning, I got up and I watched. I think it's a 1969 movie called Fangs of the Living Dead. It's a Spanish
be great.
vampire movie that I just found, bookmarked. It's an hour and a half, if that.
Right.
And I was just like, I need to like clean up a little bit. I need to do some stuff. Like I need like a good half hour of drinking the coffee and just watching the movie. Then I need to like go through this box and throw out some stuff, whatever. I was like, I'm going to
Right.
put this on. Perfect. Like,
I would
back
think
on.
the perfect movie to put on would be Twins of Evil.
Actually, I want to watch the entire Hammer.
The Karnstein series.
Yeah. I don't know what the order of them is. I think
Twins of Evil is the last one.
so. Vampire Lovers, then Lust for a Vampire, and then Twins of
Lust for-
Evil.
Yes,
So
and
Twins
Twins of
of
Evil
Evil.
is a prequel.
Twins of Evil's got Peter Cushing is like the bad guy in that.
He's a scumbag. So he's randomly burning women at the stake for being witches just for the hell of it. You hate his guts in this movie.
Which gets confusing because when I was a little kid, you watch like Brides of Dracula where it's no Christopher Lee, but he's Van Helsing, and there's some other dude as the vampires, Count something else. Then in
Right.
this one, you're like, oh, Twins of Evil, Peter Cushing, he's got to be Van Helsing. No, he's like some evil guy now. What the hell?
Some Puritan witch dude. It's pretty incredible. And the twins were Playboy Playmates.
Oh, they were smoke shows.
Yeah, and the whole time you're going, so when is anyone getting naked?
Although the girl from Lust for a Vampire is
Mhm.
just like cripplingly hot.
That is a great way to describe something. You're cripplingly hot.
Yeah.
I
You just
cannot
watch it, you're
speak, walk.
like, this is a really dumb movie, but God, I love it.
Well, before we leave the Manitou, I want to give you the main concept of this. Susan Strasberg is discovered to have a tumor growing on her body.
Not a tumor.
It's her neck, her shoulder. Well, you're right. It's not a tumor because growing within her is a shaman.
Is it named Belial?
His name is Misquamacus.
Sounds Greek.
So it had a name. Look, of all the movies about tumors that have people growing in the tumors, this is the best of them. I will tell you that. But
Isn't
the
the dark
Manitou's
half,
not
isn't that like a tumor with a...
that. Oh, dark half isn't a tumor.
Isn't there like a
Is it?
twin that wasn't born or something?
Oh, I can't remember now. Jesus.
I don't
That's sad. All right, you want another one?
Hit me.
Can you take another one?
Yeah,
How
we
about
got time for a
Magic?
couple more.
Remember Magic?
Anthony Hopkins, that's 78?
Yes.
What was the name of the dummy in that?
Ooh, Corky?
Mr. Marbles?
Mr. Marbles? Oh, Corky is the name of the magician and ventriloquist. I had it right. The dummy's name is Fats.
Oh, boy,
Foul-mouthed dummy.
I've seen that movie a couple of times, but I can't remember if I like it or not.
Anne Margaret's in it, and Burgess Meredith.
Oh, yeah,
David
Mark.
Ogden Stiers.
David Ogden Stiers. Wow.
I mean, this is directed by Richard Attenborough with a screenplay by William.
I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shutter has Fade to Black on, and I think Magic and Fade to Black would make a good
Yes, those are right around the
double
same. Like,
feature.
I think I would equate those two. Because it's funny,
Right around the same.
I saw Silence of the Lambs, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I didn't realize that, like, oh, that's the guy from Magic.
I never imagined him this crazy.
My favorite ventriloquist dummy, remember Chuck and Bob from Soap?
Yes. Oh, Chuck and Bob. Who remembers Soap anymore?
I have the entire series of Soap on DVD.
See, nowadays you just say Soap, people think, oh yeah, I need more.
So the guy who did Chuck and Bob, he had a short-lived game show on Channel 11 back when we were kids, where it was like whatever his name was, and Squeaky was the name of his.
Oh my God! Why don't we have those kind of careers? That's what I want. I want to have made some forgettable show. This is one that you and I loved as children. The Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda Triangle, or the Devil's Triangle?
The Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, so the Bermuda Triangle I have bookmarked in my queue, and I can't remember that one, because the Devil's Triangle is the one I was telling you about with the priest and the boat and all that.
Right.
And what's his name? The guy who's in everything. Troy McClure, or whatever it is.
Troy McClure. Isn't it Doug McClure?
Doug McClure.
I'm Troy McClure.
What's the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, you don't get many Mexican, Italian science fiction horror films, but this is one of them.
This was a magic time. Like, we got Bermuda Triangle movies. That's why you and I love this kind of stuff. Like, I heard Bermuda Triangle, like In Search of or something, and I was like,
I'm still locked into that stuff.
We did it in Monster Man. I went to Bermuda and we did a whole Monster Man about the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes. So in Spanish, it was El Triángulo Diabólico de las Bermudas. So this is the boat, the Black Whale 3, sails into the Bermuda Triangle with the Marvin family aboard, intending to search for the remains of Atlantis. You can't combine two greater things than Bermuda Triangle and Atlantis. Everything. Along the way, they discover a doll floating in the water, which Diana Marvin, the family's youngest daughter, takes as her own. And she becomes possessed by the doll and starts saying that everyone will die and the order that they will die. I like that. I like to know which one I am in the order.
Oh, I totally am going to watch this movie now. I swear, that's almost the movie I pulled the trigger on yesterday. I was going through and I was like, what are some of these ones I've got bookmarked that I'm like, this is not like a Friday night main feature. This is like a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. This is a movie that's also got this cast from all over the place, including like John Huston is the star.
John Huston, wow.
But then you have Gloria Guida and Hugo Stiglitz. So nobody on set is speaking the same language. Like, I always wonder how they managed to make these movies. Like
the spaghetti westerns.
What's your cue? Like, how do you know how to even react? Because acting is reacting. How do you react to somebody who you don't know what they're saying?
So remember on Final Guys I talked about how I know the guy who edited that Ghost in the Graveyard movie?
Yes.
So one of the things I asked him about was the sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, so how do you get the sound? Like, do they have to come in and overdub a ton of stuff or whatever? You know, and he goes, actually, we had a great sound guy. We had like 25 microphones everywhere. Wow. So he goes, I had a ton to choose from. There was some stuff they had to come in and voice over, and I never thought about it. You always just think about like the one boom mic or whatever. He's like, oh no, they had microphones like all over the place, so they were picking stuff up. So he had options for.
And that was a small budget film too.
Yeah,
with 25 microphones.
They had got a good sound guy.
I figured at best he'd have 2 turntables and a microphone.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is my favorite little bit of trivia. This is an Italian-Mexican sci-fi horror movie. Parts of the film were shot in Park City, Utah.
What?
We're the Flying
The
Elvis
Bermuda
Utah
Triangle.
Chapter. Well, you know, I guess Utah's the Mormon Triangle. One could say.
I guess there's a lot of parts that don't take place on the ocean.
Well, you know, you can't always be on the ocean. Who knows?
A lot of people say that Utah's a good double for Atlantis.
I've heard. Yeah, I heard that, man. All right. I will hit you with one more. I'm just trying to decide which one I'm going to do. I won't do that. How about this is now on Shutter, I think, or Prime. Are You in the House Alone? It's a made-for-TV horror movie.
Oh, I want to do a whole show about made-for-TV horror movies.
Didn't we talk about getting Terry West on
Yes.
for doing that with us? I think, yeah, he'd be the perfect person to do this with. This is back. I mean, it's got Blythe Danner,
Oh wow.
who is the mother of
Um. Oh goddamn, what's her name?
Iron Man's wife, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think Dennis Quaid's in it too.
I know somebody. Oh, I'm thinking it's Danning.
Sybil Danning,
Sybil Danning.
very different than Blythe Danner. Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow. I was right.
Wow,
I always
you're
get
wicked
nervous
smart.
when I throw something out there like I know it, and deep down I'm not really sure.
Making this shit up.
I saw Blythe Danner, who I always think of as like a mom, because she was, like our mom's age. I saw her naked in some movie, and I was very conflicted. I
Like we
had
just
a
saw Florence Henderson in the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
very confusing boner. But Are You in the House Alone is it aired on CBS. This is CBS. And 16-year-old Gail Osborne is a typical high school student with a passion for photography. And her parents moved from San Francisco to a smaller town due to her father Neil's claim the city was too dangerous following a burglary. And weird stuff happens in the house. I remember parts of this movie. I didn't realize it was a TV movie. Again, it's the second TV movie I've mentioned that I didn't know was a TV
The
movie.
70s was the golden era of made-for-TV horror movies.
Yeah. Duel. You can start with Duel and just work your way up, and you had some of the best of the best.
The Night
movies.
Stalker, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow,
Tons.
The Devil's Triangle,
The Devil's Triangle.
Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo.
Would you suggest you watch that with Kingdom of the Spiders?
I gotta be honest. I've seen Kingdom of the Spiders
waiting.
a million times.
Yes.
All I remember from Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo was, I think a plane crashes, and then I remember a kid had a tennis racket with a spider on it, and spiders on a bunch of oranges. It's all a blur.
There's a lot of that. Look, this is a long time ago. We've been on this earth a very long time. Can't remember everything.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I could just tell you just in passing. I'm just going to throw some of these out that were out there in 1978. Toolbox Murders.
Oh God, that's a huge one.
Would you say really say huge?
Well, that was like a video store. Like you had to get Toolbox Murders.
Yeah, that's true. Damien, Omen 2.
I watched that like 6 months ago. That's one of the.
That's right.
It's not a great movie, but it's one of the better sequels.
The Evil, which that is on Shudder. I know that's on Shudder because I watched it on Shudder. Stranger in the House. The Fury.
Oh, The Fury.
Devil. Oh wait, where's the one that I thought was hysterical? Vampire Hookers.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Might be one I have to watch.
I'm gonna put that on my list.
Barracuda. Oh, I didn't see Barracuda this whole time.
Oh God damn, I remember that.
Oh, and can't believe I didn't mention this one. Slithis.
What?
Slithis, or Spawn of the Slithis. This is if you like Creature from the Black Lagoon, but you wanted to see it made really crappily, this is it, where like this creature comes out of like the polluted waterways of I think Los Angeles or something. And he's like in the canal system.
Oh wow, I've never heard of this movie.
It's terrible, but it's awesome.
You know who had an awesome Creature from the Black Lagoon? Was Monster Squad.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Wasn't in it long enough for my taste, but whatever.
There's a documentary coming out at the end of this month called Wolfman's Got Nards, and it's a documentary about the Monster Squad.
Oh, nice. Oh, and Curse of Bigfoot was out too in '78.
Ooh, yeah, big.
Which-
It was a golden age of the Bermuda Triangle and Bigfoot.
And Riff Tracks, you could watch Riff Tracks take on it too. That might be the best way to watch it because I remember this being awful and unwatchable. So,
What year's
if someone
Boggy
like-
Creek?
Boggy Creek, I'm going to say
74?
69. Let me. Oh my God, I don't know what I just did to my system. Right now, Lyle Blackburn, if he's listening, is screaming at us.
Yes.
Why don't you know when this is, you idiots? Boggy Creek. The Legend of Boggy Creek, 72. That was close.
We were right in the middle.
Made $25 million.
The Legend of Boggy Creek made $25 million.
I'm sure that's, like Mike Francesi's, he's a compiler. He's a compiler. That's 25 million over 50 years.
That still seems high.
The budget was $100,000, which that seems high
Yes.
because that looks like a dude with a Super 8.
Yes.
So I don't know where that $100,000.
They took the leftover film from Last House on the Left and made that movie.
I like how they go related to the Legend of Boggy Creek. Abominable, Harry and the Hendersons, The Abominable Snowman, Patterson Gimlin film.
There you go.
It's a very short movie, the old Patterson Gimlin film.
That's a pretty good little journey. 78 had some
And we
memorable-
remember more than we thought we would and less than I'd hoped. So yeah, there we go. Y'all should just have a happy Halloween. Be like Jack. I'm sure Jack's going to guzzle about 7 pounds of candy corn
Oh, yeah.
between now and Halloween.
Well,
We didn't
you-
even buy it this year because you're not coming over. We only buy it because you're coming over.
All I'll say is this. Wait for our Thanksgiving episode. I got a treat for you.
Oh, well, wait for our Thanksgiving episode because I have a treat for you. This year, I am buying all of our Thanksgiving food at the dollar store.
Oh, God.
And then we should film the massive bouts of diarrhea and visits to the hospital.
God.
The Monster Men get their stomach pumped. A very special episode.
Very special episode. All right. Well,
Touch Dudley.
let's definitely talk about having lunch on Halloween.
Yeah, I agree. Since we're both going to be home. We don't very often get off on the same day.
Yeah. This seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Just come
So that's-
on, weather.
So who wants to come have lunch with the Monster Men? We'll pick one lucky fan if you reach out to us, and we'll take you out to lunch.
You can buy us lunch.
But we will give you directions to the place where we're going,
Yes.
and I'll give you a signed book. How about that?
There you go. Oh, speed of signed books. Go to our site, themonsterman.net. Click the shop link. That'll take you to TeePublic. It's faster than if you search Monsterman on TeePublic, you never find us. So go to themonsterman.net. There's links to the store there. Get yourself a shirt, get yourself a cup, get yourself a phone case, get something, a mask. Take a selfie. Tag us on Twitter with the Monsterman13 or tag us on Facebook. And then you just might win something. I like to call it Hunter Shay's Vault of Horror.
Somewhere up here, there's something that will become yours.
But even if you don't win something, we will give you likes and celebrate you.
And your buying stuff finally is going to help keep us going.
Yes.
How about that?
This pays for the pumpkin ale that we're going to drink in a couple of weeks.
The pumpkin ale, and at our age, it pays for the medication that we need to keep ourselves going,
Yes.
so we can keep doing these episodes. So the stuff doesn't come free.
Exactly. All right. So I'll see you soon for the pumpkin ale.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably
And
the
we'll
next
see
thing
you.
we're doing.
Pumpkin ale? Yeah, we should.
So,
I'll be there tomorrow,
okay.
complete with coronavirus, but I won't tell you.
Quarantine
point.
for a couple days, then I'm gonna have
All
the,
right.
I'm gonna have the shoot ready for you.
Just put everything in the funnel. Funneling beers is fine. Funneling candy is not fine. So
Funneling
if you
beers.
see me when you're funneling candy, put the funnel away because I'm going to do something terrible to you.
All right, everybody. Happy Halloween. We'll see you next time on
Monster Men.
Monster, Monster Man.